audience present over here today, including the children of the girls of the campus. A good talk show and a presence by them. Today, as part of our discussion, we will talk about a gentleman whose name was Bhai Paramanand. Bhai Paramanand. How many of you heard this name before? We had our Independence Day yesterday, isn't it?
Yes.
Independence Day, Republic Day, all of these days largely have become a holiday for us. Isn't it like yet another day? I don't think that we really feel the independence struggle. We really feel the independence struggle. We are all quite content with our Facebook, Instagram, social media. Life is relatively comfortable. Kapda, roti, makan, all of these are taken care of. Food, shelter, clothing, isn't it? So, in this broader comfort of life that our families have broadly achieved, I don't think we realize the pain of our independence struggle. So today I thought on this occasion we should talk about one such. We definitely celebrate Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Bhagat Singh, right? Let's also talk about one or two such relatively much lesser known freedom fighters, and one of them is, what is the name I mentioned? Bhai Paramanand ji. So Bhai Paramanand ji, he was, if you look at the entire struggle with the Britishers, right? First of all, we need to think that we were attacked or we were governed not just by the Britishers. के Britishers ने हम लोग पे शासन नहीं किया. We also had the Mughals before that. Right? We are in 2026, exactly 1,000 years back. In the year 1026, we had who attacked India? Who in the Mughals? Who was that king? Or who was that person who attacked India 1,000 years back? Mahmud Ghazni. Have you heard this name? A civilization that forgets its history will not survive for long. And remember, we are a civilization. America is not a civilization. When was the US discovered? When was America discovered? How many years ago? Roughly about in 1497. How many years back? Only about 500 years back roughly. There were some people there who used to live before, but they're all unsettled, killed. And today, the way you see, America is not a civilization by itself. My dear children in the audience, we are a civilization. We have been there for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. In the year 1026, Mahmud Ghazni invaded India and attacked the Somnath Mandir. Right? And then came the Britishers many years post that. And they ruled us for more than 200 to 50 years. What were the three key struggles, if you think through it, organized struggles that the Indians made against the Britishers, which led to our independence? One I would say is 1857. 1857. After that, which was the second one? It was in 1915. 1915. And then you had 1945-46. We have been unfortunately given a false narrative that India got independence due to non-violent means. Please think through it. After 250 years of ruling us, completely taking away our wealth, ripping us apart, you think on one fine day the Britishers' heart changed and they said, no, no, come on, India is a good country, let us give independence and go away from here. Do you think it would have happened just because we made some non-violent protest? The answer is absolutely no. India got independence because of intense struggle, intense strategic struggle by our freedom fighters, and we need to remember this. August 15th is not merely a holiday to be celebrated. So I said, if you take a step back, at any point of time in this particular country, how many Britishers were there who ruled us? What was the Indian population? What was the Indian population during that time? Do you know? What is the Indian population now? 140 crores. How many were we during our early 1900s? We were about 35 crores. How many? 35 crores. How many Britishers physically? We say Britishers, people born in Britain. How many of them were in India physically at any point of time? How many? It was roughly about 1.5 lakhs. How many? Now think about it. 1.5 lakh people ruling over 35 crore Indians. Can you see how sad this whole thing looks like? 1.5 lakh Britishers ruling over 35 crore Indians. These are all dark chapters of our history. But if we don't remember them, we don't learn from them, we will once again get there. Right? So, how do you think they ruled this country? Just 1.5 lakh people. Because they got Indians itself to rule over Indians. They got Indians itself to fight against Indians. The British army comprised of whom? Comprised primarily of Indians. Except the senior officers. Except the senior officers, all of them were Indians. Most of us at that point of time were still content, thinking it is okay, now Britishers are there, we need to take care of our food, clothing and shelter. Why do you think they joined the British Army? Why did the Indians join the British Army? They were paid. So they thought, okay, there is good pay, we get food, clothing, shelter, etc., good pay, there is respect in society. So let us not bother about this independence. This is not our work. This is not our botheration. Let us be content with our family, get our money, and we are okay. That's how the Britishers, just merely 1.5 lakh, ruled over this country of 35 crores. It was only a few people, handful of freedom fighters, who were constantly motivated to rise beyond their own self and to work for our independence struggle. And one such personality that I wish to talk about today is Bhai Parmanand. Bhai Parmanand was hugely influenced by Swami Dayananda Saraswati and by the overall Arya Samaj movement. And he understood the larger objective of life lies in pursuing a higher goal. Right? He was born somewhere in Lahore, in the Pakistan region. And then he played a very key role. I mentioned there are three broad timelines I mentioned. 1857, and then I mentioned 1915, and then I mentioned 1945-46. 1915, what was happening around the world? Any idea? World War I. 1945-46, what is happening? World War II. So in 1915, right, one key strategy, and the same strategy repeated itself in World War II as well, was that a freedom fighters thought that why can't we motivate our own Indians who are fighting in the British army to revolt? What was the strategy? Why don't we motivate the Indians fighting in the British army to revolt? If they start revolting, it will be easy to defeat the British. And why did they choose 1915 and 1946, 45-46? Because World War was going on and Britain was under pressure. Britain was under pressure. Germany was attacking Britain. A lot of Britain's resources were being depleted. They wanted more and more Indians to fight for them. Right? In World War II, do you know how many Indians fought for the British? About 25 lakhs. How many? 25 lakhs Indian fought for the Britishers. What was the Britishers' number in the Indian country? 1.5 lakhs. It's really sad when you think through it as to why were we so unorganized? Why could we not get our act together? Why could not we gain independence much earlier? So in 1915, when World War I was going on, a few Indian freedom fighters, and one of the key ones was Bhai Parmanand, they tried to motivate the Indian soldiers to revolt. And a lot of support was provided by some of the Indians who had settled in the US and other parts of the world. They were providing support from overseas. But unfortunately, the British intelligence got to know about this movement and they crushed it. And Bhai Parmanand was identified as one of the key influencers who was motivating these young minds. Right? He was one who also motivated Bhagat Singh in terms of this revolutionary activity. And what did they do? They arrested Bhai Parmanand and they sentenced him to death. Then the court trial went on and they said, okay, we will send him rather to Andaman. We will send him to Andaman. What is there in Andaman? We know it more for scuba diving, tourism, isn't it? Right? But over there is the cellular jail. Next. That is the cellular jail. My dear children and larger audience, if at all you want to feel the real struggle of independence, rather than we can go to multiple temples, go to multiple places, multiple aspects of tourism, but one place that every Indian should definitely visit is this cellular jail, for you to feel the struggle of the independence that our freedom fighters went through. As you can see over there are 7 spokes. You can see that there is a central tower, and there are how many? There are about 7 buildings, right? They had individual cells. These cells were the size of 13.5 by 7 feet. 13.5 by 7 feet. You could barely get into that cell. I have been to Kalapan, I have been to cellular jail. How many of you been on cellular jail? So you went to school. You went to the school? So, about 693 such individual cells. 693 such individual cells. 13.5 by 7 feet. Right? You and I will not be able to spend one night over there. All the towers all the spokes were connected to a central tower with one connection. They were individual buildings. These 7 were individual buildings, and they were connected to this tower with one platform. From each spoke had one platform. During the day, all these revolutionaries, including Bhai Parmanand, were made to do hard labor. What was the hard labor? हम लोग कोलू का बैल बोलते हैं ना, कोलू का बैल. Right? Today, ox is able to take out the oil, right, from the coconut, groundnut, etc. by rotating. These men were asked to do that. And come evening, they were locked up in the solitary cells. This connection to the central tower was removed for the night. Today, we all want our individual washrooms at home. These cells had no washroom. Entire 14-15 hours they would be in the cell. Please think through it. How would they even visit the restroom? They all had a container. A container in which you relieve yourself, store it, and next day when you go out, you take it and clean it. These were the kind of struggles that our freedom fighters went through. August 15 comes and goes, right? They are not just merely numbers. 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. They are not merely years that have passed by. They should remind us of that each day in that cell was like a year. Right? So, Bhai Parmanand, he was sentenced. He went there to Andaman, and over there, looking at so much of struggle, he then went on a hunger strike. He said, I would rather die this way. He went to a long hunger strike. Today, someone does a hunger strike. You have 10 television media channels, etc., focusing on that, right? Making a huge drama. Over here, this was thousands and thousands of kilometers away. Even they had families. Even they had children. Even they had some alternate things that they could do in life. But they chose the difficult path. So then he was released in 1920, came back to the mainland, right, and continued to influence future generations, and he passed away in the year 1947. So that's Bhai Parmanand for you. I thought it would be apt for us to pay our homage to one of such great Indian revolutionaries who is relatively lesser known. I'll request the audience to please stand up for a couple of minutes, pay our homage, and then we will end the session.